So this time we have the equation m squared plus 21 equals negative 10m. Now there's a problem with this equation in that you should recognize that it's quadratic because the highest power on any of the variables is a square, so is a 2. So when the highest power is a 2, that means it's quadratic. The problem being that if we want to solve a quadratic equation, we need everything on the left before we begin. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is move everything to the left. So in this case, the term that's on the right hand side that we need to move is the negative 10m to the left hand side. Okay, and we can't really proceed before we do that. It's very important that everything is on the left hand side. So we're going to move that across. Okay, and we're going to write it in standard form, which means the m squared part is going to come first, and then we'll put the m part, and then the 21 will be on the end. So that's going to become m squared. When the minus 10m comes across, it changes sign. Okay, remember, anything that moves across an equal sign from one side of the equal sign to the other has to change sign. So the minus 10m, as it moves across, becomes plus 10m. And then plus 21. We still have the plus 21 because it remains relative to the equal sign. It's still on the left-hand side of the equal sign. The 21 hasn't changed position in regards to the equal sign. Okay, so now we can begin because everything is on the left-hand side. So we know how to factor these. Factoring trinomials, you start off with parentheses back to back. The letter goes in at the start of each parentheses, and we want the factors of the number on the end. So we want the factors of 21. Okay, so the factors of 21 are 1 times 21 and 3 times 7 are the other factors. Okay, so let's see what else we can do. Well, we have a plus here. Okay, this is a plus. A plus there means that the factors need to add together to give you the number in the middle. So the factors must add, because it's a plus on the end, the factors must add to give 10. Number in the middle is 10. So if we look at the factors, the correct factors 1 and 21, if we add those we get 22. 3 and 7, if we add those we get 10. So those are our correct factors. And we've got in the habit of putting the big number here, so we put 7 there and the 3 there. Okay, so that's where we are so far. We know, and hopefully on top of this at this stage, the first sign in the problem, when everything's written on the left. Now everything has to be written on the left at this point. So once everything is written on the left, the first sign in the problem will go in front of the bigger of the two factors. So we have 7 and 3. The bigger one is 7, so the first sign, which in this case was a plus, goes in front of the 7. So we have m plus 7. Okay. So the only bit that's missing is what goes between the m and the 3 in the second parenthesis. In other words, what's the sign of the 3 in the second parenthesis? And to figure that out, we look at the last sign in the question, and it was a plus. And a plus in the last position, plus in this position, means the signs in the parentheses have got to be the same as each other. Okay, so we had a plus here already, and now we're saying the signs in the parentheses have got to be the same as each other, so it has to be a plus here as well. Okay, and we know that that is equal to 0. Okay, this is, since we moved everything to the left, we know that that's equal to 0. And now we're nearly there. What we can do is we can take this parenthesis, set it equal to 0, m plus 7 equals 0, and take this parenthesis and set it equal to 0. M plus 3 equals 0. And in each case, we'll get the m on its own. Okay, so in each case, we'll get the m on its own. So what we'll do here, try this one, move the plus 7 over to the other side, and that gives you m is equal to, when the 7 moves across, it becomes minus 7. So that's one answer. M equals minus 7. Remember, what you want to do is get a letter on its own. That's when you're finished. And do something similar here. You want m on its own here as well, so move the plus 3 across. Remember, it changes sign as it moves across. So if the 3 changes sign as it moves across, it becomes minus 3. So our two answers, our two solutions, are m equals negative 7 and m equals negative 3. So the factors are here, solutions are here. Okay? Factors are there. Those are the factors. And these are the solutions. Now, although it's not a big thing yet, solutions are also called roots. And when we talk about functions, which we'll do later on in the year, we'll see that these are also called the zeros of a function. Okay? Don't worry too much about that yet, but if you're reviewing this at the end of the year, it might be useful for you to know that the solutions to a quadratic equation are the roots or zeros of the quadratic function. Okay? And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.